Well, I'm back from holidays, so I might as well continue recording videos for the OHL History playlist, looking at the OHL season by season as we have something to talk about during the 2025 offseason. Now, this is a very special season, 2010, 2011, as we'll have an underdog story or underdog franchise that ends up on top after many fans a little upset that Mississauga would be the Memorial Cup host this year because a lot of team fans outside the GTA seeing the empty seats at the Hershey Center, feeling like why should this organization be a host for such a national tournament? But obviously, the majors with Eugene Melnick putting a lot of money into this arena and this facility and would eventually be granted this Memorial Cup. But what a year it was. So let's dive into it. There were no changes, no relocations imminent at this time. So let's go right into the standings. In the West, the Saginaw Spirit would win their first division title. They had a record of 40-22-4-2, 86 points, while the Windsor Spitfires second with a record of 39-23, 3-3, good for 84 points. The Plymouth Whalers, they would finish third in the division, 36-26, 2-4 for 78 points, while the Sarnia Sting, they would miss the postseason with a record of 25-36, 5-2 for 57 points, and also missing the playoffs, the Sioux Greyhounds, 24-36, 5-3 was their record for 56 points. In the Midwest, the Owen Sound Attack, they would take top spot, a record of 46, 17, 1-4 for 97 points. And I was traveling with the Kitchener Rangers, covering this team for the radio station I was working with. And every time we went to the Bay Shore, I remember the conversation from Attack fans would be, is this for real? Can the Attack actually go on a championship run? And boy, oh boy, were the Owen Sound fans in for a treat in 2010, 2011. Meanwhile, the Rangers, they would finish second in the division, 38-21, 4-5 for 85 points, while the Erie Otters, third in the division, 40-26, 1-1, 82 points. The Guelph Storm, they were fourth, 34-27, 4-3 for 75 points, while the London Knights, they would finish fifth with a record of 34-29, 4-1 for 73 points. Now shifting over to the Eastern Conference, starting with the Central, the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors, they loaded up and they dominated with a record of 53-13, 0-2, 108 points. Second in the division, the Niagara Ice Dogs, 45-17, 2-4 for 96 points. The Brampton Battalion, they were third, 29-32, 1-6 for 65 points. While the Sudbury Wolves, fourth with a record of 29-35, 2-2 for 62 points. While the Barrie Colts at the bottom of the division with a record of 15-49, 2-2 for 34 points and would miss the postseason. In the East Division, the Ottawa 67s took top spot, 44-19, 3-2 for 93 points. The Oshawa Generals were second with a record of 39-19, 4-6 for 88 points. The Kingston Frontenacs, third, 29-30, 4-5 for 67 points. While the Belleville Bulls, fourth, 21-43, 0-4 for 46 points. And finishing at the bottom of the division and missing the playoffs, the Peterborough Petes, 20-45, 1-2 for 43 points. Now, this would actually be the final season where Larry Mavety was somehow a part of the Kingston Frontenacs as he would retire as general manager of the junior hockey club. Remember, he joined this team originally in the 88-89 season as the head coach when they were named the Kingston Raiders. So Mavety spending a lot of time with this organization and having his hand involved in the shaping of this lineup, trying to get the Kingston Frontenacs to go on a deep run, which, of course, up to this point, had not yet materialized. Now, after going to the OHL final, the Barrie Colts, they would hire Dale Hawerchuk to take over as head coach, and this would also be the first time Barrie would miss the playoffs in franchise history, and of course, as a result, they would draft Aaron Ekblad first overall. He was granted exceptional status, so you miss the playoffs for the first time, and you're awarded with high-end talent on your blue line. Meanwhile, Bob Boughner would also leave the Windsor Spitfires bench. He would join the Columbus Blue Jackets for one season as an assistant coach. So after back-to-back Memorial Cup championships, Bob Boughner getting a chance at the NHL level as an assistant coach. Now let's take a look at the points leaders from this year. Tyler Toffoli led the way from the Ottawa 67s, 57 goals, 51 assists, 108 points. Jason Atkinson right there with him from the Kitchener Rangers, 24 goals, 84 assists, 108 points. The difference being Atkinson played 67 games. So if he would have played one more game, would he have passed Toffoli for first in the scoring race? That's up for debate there from sure Kitchener fans. Now, third in scoring was Ryan Strome from the Niagara Ice Dogs. 33 goals, 73 assists, 106 points. Nail Yakupov of the Sarnia Sting, 49 goals, 52 assists, 101 points. Ryan Ellis of the Windsor Spitfires, 24 goals, 77 assists, 101 points. Christian Thomas of the Oshawa Generals, 54 goals, 45 assists, 99 points. Seventh in scoring was Taylor Beck of the Guelph Storm, 42 goals, 53 assists, 95 points. While Greg McKegg, he was eighth in scoring from the Erie Otters, 49 goals, 43 assists, 92 points. Ninth in scoring, Michael Latta of the Guelph Storm, 34 goals, 55 assists, 89 points. And rounding out the top 10 was Peter Holland of the Guelph Storm, 37 goals, 51 assists, 88 points. So the Guelph Storm, well represented there in the top 10 in scoring for the Ontario Hockey League. Now looking at the playoff tree, starting with the Western Conference, it would be the Owen Sound Attack and the number 1 seed against the London Knights. And for Owen Sound, they would eliminate the Knights in 6 games. Meanwhile, the Saginaw Spirit with home ice advantage would take care of the Guelph Storm also in 6 games, while the Kitchener Rangers upset in the first round by the Plymouth Whalers, losing that series in 7 games. Now, Windsor and Erie, that series would also need 7 games, but it would be the Spitfires who would end up on top, winning the series 4-3. In the Eastern Conference, oh boy, the first round was fast. Starting off Mississauga, they would sweep Belleville in 4 games, while the Ottawa 67s, they were upset in the first round in 4 to the Sudbury Wolves, while the Niagara Ice Dogs, they would sweep the Brampton Battalion, and the Oshawa Generals, they would need 5 games to take care of the Kingston Frontenacs. In the second round, the Owen Sound Attack, they would continue their march to the OHL final, sweeping the Plymouth Whalers, while the Windsor Spitfires, they took care of Saginaw in 6 games. In the East, Mississauga, they would sweep Sudbury, while Niagara, they needed 5 games to take care of Oshawa. In the conference final, we would have Owen Sound against Windsor. Windsor, of course, with all that experience from back-to-back OHL championships, but it wasn't enough as Owen Sound win the series in 5 games. In the Eastern Conference, the Majors, they took care of Niagara also in 5 games. So for the J. Ross Robertson Cup, Mississauga versus Owen Sound, the top teams in each conference, and it kind of felt like a home game every night for Owen Sound, as fans, they would travel in droves from Owen Sound, or really the entire Grey Bruce area. They would pack the Hershey Center, and in Game 7, the Attack would defeat Mississauga 4-3, and fans actually lined the highway all the way up to the Bayshore to congratulate the Owen Sound Attack in their first J. Ross Robertson Cup championship, as it was the little team that could, as they defied the odds and were able to build this team, which would go on the deep playoff run and would go to the Memorial Cup for the first time in franchise history. Now, the Memorial Cup, like I said, is being hosted by Mississauga, so you'd have the Majors and the Attack representing the OHL. They'd be joined by the St. John Sea Dogs from the QMJHL and the Kootenay Ice of the Western Hockey League. Now, the Majors, they had a 2-1 record after the round robin to advance to the semifinal, while Owen Sound 1-2 and would have to face Kootenay in the tiebreaker. The Ice, they would defeat Owen Sound 7-3. And remember, Joey Hishin out of the lineup suffering a concussion, so a very tough loss offensively. And you could kind of tell that was a factor in the Attack when they were playing in the Memorial Cup. Now, as a result, Kootenay would face Mississauga in the semifinal. The Majors, they would win that one by a score of 3-1. And then in the final, St. Mike's, they would end up losing to the St. John Sea Dogs. 3-1 would be your final score. And for St. John, they'd be the first team from the Maritimes to win the Memorial Cup championship. So some history being made. Owen Sound going to the Memorial Cup, and St. John winning the first Memorial Cup championship from the Maritimes. Now, looking at your award winners this season, the Red Tilson Trophy would go to Ryan Ellis of the Windsor Spitfires, while the Eddie Powers Memorial Trophy was shared between Tyler Toffoli and Jason Akeson. The Jim Mahan Memorial Trophy also split between Tyler Toffoli and Jason Akeson. The Max Kaminsky Trophy went to Ryan Ellis of the Windsor Spitfires, while Mark Vizentine of the Niagara Ice Dogs, he was named OHL Goaltender of the Year. The Dave Pinkney Trophy would go to J.P. Anderson and Michael Audette of the Mississauga St. Michael's Majors. Nail Yakupov was named M's Family Award for Rookie of the Year. The Dan Snyder Memorial Trophy went to Jack Walchison of the Peterborough Petes. The William Hanley Trophy and the Leo Lalonde both went to Jason Atkinson of the Rangers. Dougie Hamilton of the Niagara Ice Dogs won the Bobby Smith Trophy, while the Mickey Renaud Captain's Trophy went to Ryan Ellis, and the Wayne Gretzky 99 Award went to Robbie McNarty of the Owen Sound Attack for playoff MVP. So what a season it was, 2010-2011. Very memorable for fans in Grey Bruce. And I would love to see the comments down below if there's something from that season that stood out to you, as it was a magical run for Owen Sound. It would be great to see the Attack go on a deep playoff run in the near future just because of that passion. And remember, this team almost relocated to Cornwall in 2000, but it was the small businesses who all came together and kept the team in Grey Bruce. So what a story this was. And let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon.